Welcome to the ET Stand Podcast, the Cronulla Sharks fans podcast that lets its talking do the football. Available in all the usual places, YouTube, Facebook, Apple, Spotify, and a bunch of other audio-only platforms. Get involved in all of our Sharks discussion on the Discord channel, included in the links below. And give us a tip on your predictions for this match as we opposition fan preview the Cronulla Sharks welcoming the Canterbury Bulldogs, the undefeated Canterbury Bulldogs, with not Jaden Bailey, but Jaden Bailey from the Just Bulldogs Podcast. Jaden, welcome to the Sharks fans podcast, the ET Stand. How are you, mate?
Thanks, mate. I'm very good. It's a pleasure to be on. Appreciate you inviting me to join the show.
Mate, pleasure. Do you enjoy listening to the Up Cronulla music there in the background?
It's a very good intro. Hopefully we're not hearing that too much this weekend.
Well, hopefully we're hearing it after full time. Well, I'll just cue down the music and save you the hassle, because you might have to hear that one at the end of the match. Mate, welcome. The Bulldogs, 3 from 3. Why have you been winning?
Yeah, it's a very good start to the season. It's been a grind. The first couple of weeks showing off some pretty good football to start both of the games, petering off in some periods, but defensively very, very strong. The offense is what's really sparked so far this season, the difference from last year, showing what we can do with the ball. But this team is built on defense, just working hard for each other, and it's really got this
Despite
team
the injuries, you're still saying the offense, with missing Burton for a little bit, you're still saying the offense is holding up?
It definitely has slowed down massively. It struggled against Parramatta at times. And that's where, our strong defense is what's going to keep us going for the next few weeks, I think.
All right, well, let's run through this Bulldogs team as we pull it up on screen here. For those not with the benefit of the visuals, Connor Tracy, the Sharks fans will obviously know Connor Tracy pretty well. I can't say that I know Blake Wilson or Marcelo Montoya that well on the wings. What can you tell me about them, man?
Yeah, okay. Both of them are Bulldogs juniors. Montoya debuted around the 2017, 2018 mark, I think.
So he's been around a while. I guess I just don't watch that much Bulldogs. You haven't been relevant for years, have you?
That's tough. Montoya's gone over to the Warriors, so he's been there for about 3 or 4 years now. First season back at the Bulldogs. He's an absolute truck. He's massive out on the wing. I'm terrified. My opinion on him is every other team's terrified when he has the ball, and so are the Bulldogs fans. Has he got an error in him or something, does he? He's got very shaky hands, but he is a very scary person to have running at you. So very big boy. And then
does he play is he on the right or the left-hand side?
He'll be left wing.
He'll be left wing. So he's running at Ronaldo.
Yeah.
I know, is he running at Ronaldo? No, he's
your left. No, Stone Street will be your right.
Yeah, we're going at Stone Street. Yeah, we're going at Stone Street. Yeah, I always get the size of the wingers. Yeah, well, maybe he'll be trunking over the top of Stone Street. Is he fast?
He's not the fastest player, but he's fast enough.
He might struggle with lovely Sammy. All right, and then we get onto your centres. Look, the Sharks fans obviously know Bronson Cherry pretty well. Is he still sporting some crazy haircut, or what's he up to?
He's got a bit of a clean look at the moment. The business short back and sides looking very nice.
Yeah, right. Is he? What's he doing in the centres?
He's playing very well. So it's a bit of a different style. When we do have Burton and Kickow, he's used as a decoy majority of the time. They take Kickow at the back. But now Kickow out of the side, they're using him as a bit more as a centre, giving him early ball room to move. So I'm pretty keen to see how he goes. He done well against the Para side when they did give him that early ball. I think they'll use him similar this week.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. And then obviously Bailey Hayward hasn't played too many NRL matches. What can we expect from him?
Yeah, he debuted last year, getting used as a hooker and a lock coming off the bench. This is his second game starting in the 6 jersey, so I don't think we'll get too much out of him with the ball. He's a quality player, good young player, just re-signed, but defensively he'll lock up that edge and sort of just distribute the ball down that left edge.
So expecting a little bit more playmaking from Toby Sexton then.
Yes, definitely hoping that the right side gets going. There's some pretty good players outside Sexton, so looking for that right side to spark the attack.
All right, now this forward pack, tell me about them. Who's worth keeping an eye out for here?
I think there's probably a lot of names that a lot of people might not know, but they're workhorses across the board. Max King, I think he's probably underrated across the league, but he is a very good front rower. Gets through a ton of work, very good at getting meters, very rarely misses a tackle. And then we have a bit more of we've got an opening front rower, Daniel Salic-Fafita. He's probably lucky to play more than 15 minutes on the starting side, and he'll be lucky to get on the field after that. Scored a nice try last week, showed what he can do with the ball. And then the rotation of guys off the bench. Harry Hayes debuted last year. I'm a big fan of his. Gets through plenty of work. Good run of the ball, very safe defensively. Satili Tupanura, probably more of our impact guy. Offers a bit more in attack, runs a real good line, experienced as a back row, playing as a middle. And then Curtis Moran, another player, big impact, short minutes, really amps up the defense when he gets on the field.
So you're a big bench then?
They're all front rowers. I wouldn't say big.
All right. And then Kurt Mann, refresh my memory. Where does he play?
Kurt Mann will be our lock. So he's
a middle player as well.
Rotate. The 13.
Yeah, right. Okay. So you've got 4 forwards coming in on the bench, take on the Sharkies, who have got Daniel Atkinson on the bench. So we'll see how that plays out. And then Reid Marnie, he's just like your quality distribution, really, isn't he? So he's a pretty handy player. I can't say I'm shaking in my boots at this Bulldogs forward pack, mate. I've got to admit. You think it's a fair assessment, or you reckon I'm just taunting you and you'll be replaying this with your Bulldogs players?
No, so our forward pack isn't going to dominate a team, like busting through, breaking tackles and all that, but they will grind a team into the ground. Just about every game, I expect them to be able to hold up any opposition forward pack. They might not be able to roll through them, but they'll do enough to keep us out of trouble.
And of course, captained by definitely the best defensive centre in the game in Stephen Crichton, and maybe against those Sharkies, he's going to have to be pretty good defensively. You think he can shut down the Sharks' attack?
I think everything. It's tough. I'm a big fan of Blake Wilson. Didn't talk too much on him. Everything inside Blake Wilson is very strong defensively. And then when we get to our wing, if they get the spread, he's a big fan of shooting in on the center.
Coming in. It's like Ronaldo Mulitalo all over again. It's like, why do you do it, Ronnie? No.
Yes. So Stephen Crichton locked down. He can just about cover 2 people on his own, but Blake Wilson does like to go jamming in. So that's where the worry comes from down that right side. Preston is very good defensively, right side back rower, and then Sexton can do enough. We just need Blake Wilson to step up in defense a little bit.
Against one of the top try scorers in rugby league. That's not going to be an easy task. What went wrong last year in the final series, mate? The Bulldogs kind of petered out there at the end of the season. What did you put that down to?
Yeah, so our Achilles heel for the majority of the year was our forward pack going up against the teams with the big forward packs, your Shark styles, your Manly styles. And we played Manly a couple of weeks before the finals, and a similar thing happened. And once a team does get over the top of our forward pack and we struggle to slow them down, that's when it can get away from us. And then, the superstar players doing the one-off stuff can break us down.
Now, the Sharks' record against the Bulldogs, we're too busy chatting just life in general in podcasting. The Sharkies have a reasonable record against the Bulldogs, but you got us in that match with the bloody Burton field goal, didn't you?
Yep. Good one.
Was that the last meeting? We probably should have looked that up, shouldn't we?
Yeah, I didn't check that.
I'll check that out. Well, that was certainly the one that I remembered. God, that was just an absolute blunder. An absolute blunder from the Sharks last time. Goodness me, was it Toby Rudolph giving away that penalty? How do you guys typically score your tries?
That's another one. With ours, we sort of score across the park. I don't think we'll have a leading try scorer so far ahead the pack. We're pretty good for a try down our left edge. When Matt Burton and Viliama kick are out there, I'd be looking for Montoya to cross. Without them, it's sort of who has a hot hand in the game. So hopefully that right edge is going, and Blake Wilson will end up finishing off a couple, scored off a good one on the weekend. There's nobody that I'd be banking to cross over.
Fair enough. I just look at the record. Last year it was split 1-1.
Yeah.
With the Sharks playing you guys on the 15th of March. That must have been a trial. So I think we only played you once in the regular season last season.
Okay.
Which was that annoying bloody loss by a point, which ended up costing the Sharks a little bit. as we got that going. All right, a couple other Bulldogs things. Josh Addo-Carr, what was your take on all of that?
Yeah, that was definitely pretty upsetting. He came to the club when we were very low, so I was a big fan, very happy to have him there. Then, everything that went on definitely wasn't ideal the week before a finals game.
No, definitely not. Can you guys win without your two key guys, Burton and Kickow? Is it even possible?
I think it'll be tough. I definitely think we will keep it close. The way that we defend, I don't think we our biggest thing we lose is Kickow's kick chase, putting heaps of pressure on the back three. I think we'll defend well enough to limit Sharks' points. It's whether or not our attack can turn up on the day.
Whether you can score any points at all. All right, well, let's just go look at this Sharkies team. And what a great-looking Sharks team it is. Kennedy, Stone Street, Rami and Iro, Mulatalo, Trindle and Hines in the halves. Big bad for Noah Blake in the front row. Surely your mob can't contain him. Blake Brayley, Kafusi, Nickera, Wilton, McInnes, Atkinson, Talakai, Hazelton and Tapua. All right, let's just take your Bulldogs goggles off for a minute. How many of your team would make our team? Obviously, Crichton would.
Yep, Crichton. I would say both of our back rowers. Nickera is probably close.
Seriously not saying one of your back rowers is going to make it in front of Nickera. Come on, he's like a gun.
Not right now. If we had Kickow
in the game,
I'd put Kickow on the same level.
Oh, well, Kickow's not in your team, so...
Yeah, full strength. I'd say Preston would be on the Wilton level.
Okay, maybe. And obviously you're not getting ahead of Fanua Blake. You'd say Reed Marnie's probably got Blake Brayley covered.
Yeah.
And then
it's probably tough from there.
It's getting a little bit tough.
Yeah. And then maybe Max King over Kafusi for me.
Well, you do like Max King, don't you?
Everybody should like Max King more than he definitely doesn't get the rep he deserves. He's a very quality player.
And then I guess if Burton was floating around, I guess he displaces Trindle at 5'8", doesn't he?
Burton over Trindle for me, definitely.
You'd go Burton over Trindle. But, yeah, look, it's probably, with your Bulldogs goggles on, it's probably still 8-5 for the Sharks, or maybe even 9-4. But with me, I'm looking at it giving you, I'd take Stephen Crichton, Reed Marnie at a pinch.
Yeah, we're definitely under strength. Well, and another player we are missing is Jacob Kiraz. Last year was top 3.
That's going to make it. That's going to make it tough. All right, so you're looking at this Sharks team. You're just looking at this going, oh, goodness me, how do we contain X? Who worries you in the Sharks team? What do you make of it?
Where would I be looking? So, yeah, I think you have very strong centers, but I think we have very strong centers too. So it's not where I'd be worried. The biggest worry is the forward pack, without a doubt. Mostly Adam Fanua Blake. He's the scary man in the middle of the field.
Well, the Sharks have been doing typically in past seasons. There hadn't been much difference between the Sharks bench forwards and the starting forwards. However, now that we have Fanua Blake, there is a noticeable drop-off when he goes off and then when he comes on at the end of the matches. So you'll find, in the last 20 minutes, the Sharks might come over the top of you in terms of just the size. And then obviously with Talakai, Hazelton and Tapua, they're like seriously big dudes, all of those three guys. There's a slight question mark over Talakai on whether he will be able to play after that Jai Gray. He seems to just always get those hip drop tackles. See us if a Talakai. And then Atkinson, he's just a outside back, halves kind of bit of coverage really, and so we haven't really needed the fourth forward. So I think we're certainly going to come over the top of you. All right, look, let's get a tip from you as we approach the 15-minute mark. What do you reckon? Can your Bulldogs win?
I wouldn't tip against the Bulldogs.
You're not going to tip against the Bulldogs?
Not a chance. I think we can defend as strong as any other week. I think we can limit Sharks' points. If we're going to win, it's going to be a low scorer. So I'll go 22 points to 16. All
right, and try scores on both teams. Give us one for each for those.
Yeah, so
gambling responsibly.
Yeah, if we're going, I'll be definitely looking for our right edge. I'd probably look at Jacob Preston. He'd be my guy.
All right, Jacob Preston for a try for the Bulldogs. All right, and then for any Bulldogs fans out there, Jaden, how can they access the Just Bulldogs podcast?
Yep, so I've got the podcast going, so any of your podcast apps, the YouTube channel, Just Bulldogs Podcast, and then Instagram, and I have an X account as well. Just Bulldogs _ you can find me on there.
Yeah, right. You getting down to the match on the weekend?
I don't think I'm going to be able to this weekend, but yeah, I'm sure it'll be a good one.
All right, sounds good. All right, mate. Well, thanks for coming on the show. We're also going to do a similar version of this over on the Just Bulldogs channel, where Jaden will ask me questions about the Sharks, and I will give my honest answers as I always do. Don't ask me about Nico. Come on. All right, that was the ET stand. Sharks fans, welcome Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs at Shark Stadium, not Shark Park, at 7:30 p.m. kickoff. We will be live with the debrief about 20, 30 minutes after full time. Depending on how we're all feeling. Do get involved in that show and have your say on the Sharks' performance as the Sharks hopefully go equal with the Bulldogs on 6 competition points. I'm David Boldman. This is the ET Stand podcast for our dear friend Jaden Bailey from the Just Bulldogs podcast, up Cronulla.
For over 50 years, people have come to see the Sharks play. Talent, skill, speed, intelligence. Elite-level athleticism. That's not these guys. Biased, one-eyed, opinionated. More often wrong than right. They make up for their complete lack of talent with pure dribble, gibberish, and enthusiasm. This is the ET Stand Podcast.